And a couple months ago, we were like, we've got a free Saturday. It was a Saturday, or pretty early on a Saturday. Why don't we just, drive up to Chicago and try to consign? Because we know we have a couple friends up in Chicago. He's got a friend named Arash, who's plays in a band up there called Dirty Diamonds. Is that right, Dirty Diamonds? Okay. And so we knew about a couple record stores up there that would consign records. So we're like, okay. We hop in the car, we drive up there. We get up there, I don't know, 7 or 8 in the evening because it took us a while to get out of here. And traffic for some reason was awful that day.
Tay stories. Good Christ. Well, none of them are real, and it's sort of gotten to a point where he'll say something about something, and regardless of whether he's telling the truth or not, I just assume it's a lie, which is, like I would say, 75% true.
I guess for some reason, we got lost. We got turned around. We ended up actually parking my car in a parking garage. And so we're like riding in circles on the L train. We're in the loop trying to figure out how to get to this record store.
I don't know. I've become immune to them. I used to find them humorous at first, but then most of them are about dicks. So I just stopped caring.
So we're looking around, and I hear kind of off in the distance what sounded to me like a gunshot. So we kind of went out to like a main well-lighted area. So we're kind of just like looking around for. Basically, we're waiting on the L train because we've decided we're not going to find the record store. It's 9:30 at night at this point in time, so we assumed it's probably closed by this time anyway. And as we're sitting here, this guy comes out of an alley like a block away and starts walking towards us. And we figured he was just going to go because there was some restaurant right there on the corner. We figured he was just going to the restaurant. It's like a fast food thing that was open all night. And he starts walking towards the restaurant, and then he seems to notice us, and he did, and he starts walking over to us, and he had like this weird like raspy voice. It's like, "What's up, guys?" Like it. That's a relatively accurate impersonation. I'm not terribly good at impressions.
When I was in high school, I was in a band called the Get Down Louis, and we would play with this band called Never Ender all the time. We were sort of like, they were our sister band.
I first met Mike about 3 years ago when we were both playing in different high school groups at this little hole in the wall. And, time passed, and I think both our groups broke up.
After both of our bands broke up, the Kevins broke up, Get Down Louis broke up. Kevin Doyle from Neverender and the Kevins sort of put up a MySpace for music that he was recording and writing himself. And the MySpace page was called The Weakness.
And the drummer that I've been friends with forever, my friend Corey, he let me keep his drum set at my house, and I just started messing around trying to learn how to record and actually like learn how to play drums. And then I just thought I'd start making full sounding songs, and I thought the best way to do it would just be doing everything myself, just so I could get fully what I heard in my head out into real life. And I started recording some songs and just kind of played around with it, and eventually put some songs on the internet. Mike randomly found one and said like, "Hey, this sounds pretty good, keep it up."
And it was all just like nothing really I'd heard before. I mean, like, it was really sort of derivative of a lot of early 90s indie bands, like a lot of Pixies influence, a lot of kind of Dinosaur Jr., Pavement kind of stuff. But like, it was just real goofy songwriting in a good way, like really kind of like non-traditional, like linear song structures.
I just told myself like I'd try to make songs that were like purely I don't want to say original because everyone says they try to make original music or whatever. I just wanted to take whatever it was, like whatever I heard in my head, and made it as pure as possible in real life, and not try to cater it to any certain sound or any certain genre or anything.
It was shortly after that where Tay asked me to start a label, and I remember he was one of the first things we thought of. We were sort of brainstorming on what we could release, and we're like, well, we could release the stuff we write ourselves, and then like we sort of have friends we could maybe release stuff for, and the weakness was one of the first names that came up.
He then says that he needs some money from us. And we said, all right. I'm sorry, sir. Thank you very much for taking us to the record store. We can't give you any money. I know you're just going to buy whiskey with us. And he gets pissed. And this is where it starts to get a little scary because, I mentioned the gunshots. It's dark. It's 10 o'clock at night right now in Chicago. And he gets pissed. And this is positively ridiculous. He pulls out a toothbrush that he has literally sharpened on one end to a point. It looks like a prison shiv. But I kicked the shit out of him. I just kicked him as hard as I could. And then I just whispered to Michael, run. And we just ran away. Thank God. The Green Line L train had literally, this is seriously like a movie. The L train had just pulled into the station. We jump on, and the guy's running after us. Get back here, I need my whiskey, or something like that. I don't even remember. So that was a pretty scary story. And that's just to warn you. I mean, if you're going to start a record label, you need to be aware of all the risks involved.
So me and Tay got put in the paper, like a week ago. Anyway, here's the article. There's a beautiful picture of us on the front page of the weekend section, which also features an article about the Cinemac closing, which is the saddest news ever. Anyway, it was pretty awesome to be in the paper because then a bunch of random people that you don't normally talk to were like, hey, I saw you in the paper. And you're like, hey, I don't normally talk to you, but now that I'm in the paper, it's like we're friends again. And then weird people contact you on the internet, such as the owner of Buffalo Louie's and JDJ Skinny Pete Patton.
To the JDJ Skinny Pete Patton debacle on the Facebooks, we have learned that, in fact, I went to high school with aforementioned JDJ Skinny Pete Patton, or whatever his name is. I was looking through his pictures to try to determine what he did for fun, and I realized I recognized him. In fact, I had freshman science with him. I felt bad. I used to give him answers on some tests because he was not terribly intelligent. Also, he was kicked out of my high school because he called one too many teacher a fucking bitch. Also, I'm fairly certain that he got caught with vodka in his backpack at school. This is Michael. That's all I have. JDJ Skinny Pete Patton for you. He wanted to give us booze and hog.
In our case, even though we don't, even though we're not hugely established, just the fact that we're kind of hey, we have a label, we have a few artists and we have stuff available at a few record stores, that's enough to get these people excited and want to write about us.
So it's a lot of listening to music, and then not listening to music for a long time and trying to abandon all your influences and trying to make something purely from within you and not from any other outside influence.
If I don't think we could really exist for very long because no one would care. We'd pop up and be like, oh, what, okay.
Ambivalence is the enemy.
So anyways, I mean, that's why.
Bloomington, a place for chill bros. If you had to pick one town in Indiana to do a mountain blow with, which one would you pick? I would pick Bloomington.